has legacy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of Dubai Works Business Podcast. This is episode 99, and I have the pleasure of being joined by Mr. Mohammed Shafi. With 25 years of experience in the real estate industry, he's one of the leading visionaries in property development in the Middle East. As CEO of Prescott Real Estate and Development, and also director of Tabani Real Estate, Mohammed utilizes his invaluable experience and knowledge and proven track record of success to spearhead both of these companies. So it's hard to run one, but two companies. Prescott Real Estate have actually been building homes in the UAE for well over a decade. The brand is synonymous with quality products, and they also cater to clients who seek homes at an affordable price as well. Today, we're going to be talking to Mr. Shafi about the story of Prescott Real Estate, the crisis situation that the real estate industry experienced, like every other industry over the past year, and also what the industry looks like in the UAE in the future, with a particular focus on luxury, affordable luxury. So welcome, Mohammed. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. So when you came into this building, you in JLT, you told us that you knew of it when it opened in 2006.
When the freehold business in Dubai has started back in 2002-3, we started our business in 2004. And our primary focus was offices, because we saw that there is a huge demand for offices, and everybody who's doing the business is always leasing their space and paying over and over. So we entered into the market and we started our business with JLT. Actually, we started with International City and then we entered into JLT. The first building that we started selling was IT Plaza in Cluster T.
Wow.
And then the HDS Tower in Cluster F. And then I happened to meet Mr. Ahmed Shafar, the chairman of the
Shafi Group,
Shafi Group, and we started talking, underwriting this particular tower. And this is how I know about this building. And we jointly discussed what the name of the building should be. So there was a AG Tower, there was a AU Tower, which is gold and silver.
Okay.
So I suggested a name, and he appreciated the idea of having the Platinum Tower.
Amazing. And he's still here on the top floor.
On the top floor.
So thank you for naming our office all those years ago. It's good to hear the backstory. So can you tell us of Prescott Real Estate, if that's what was the company then, and what was the journey since then?
I'm in Dubai since 1991.
Wow.
I was in the textile business, and before the textile business, I was in the real estate business back in Pakistan. When I started here as a textile merchant or a trader or an indentor, then in 2004 as a family, we decided to have a real estate operation. And because of me having a little bit of a background of real estate, back in 1990, and my brother was still in the real estate business in Pakistan. The real estate was always in the blood, and the know-how was there. So it was not a difficult thing to start the business. But Alhamdulillah, we got a successful situation when we started the business. The business was booming, so we got a very good platform to do business with. And our primary focus was real estate brokerage and investment, and so on. Then we started a company called Total Solution Real Estate, which was back in 2006.
Wow.
And how the name Prescott came in, we bought one plot in Jumeirah Village, two plots in Jumeirah Village, and we formed an offshore company. And the name of the offshore company was given by our auditor, the guy who formed the company for us. And coincidentally, the name of the company was Prescott Enterprises Limited.
Yeah.
So we liked the name, and we changed our company name from Total Solution Real Estate to Prescott Real Estate Development.
Amazing.
But so Prescott is our brand name, is a brand of the company, and we do all our projects under the name of Prime.
Yeah.
So all our projects that we have delivered and in future is going to be under the name of Prime.
Okay, interesting. And when you talk about the plot and the total solutions, I assume that's full service, or you're doing everything in real
No,
estate.
it was coincidentally a name called Total Solution Real Estate. We were running a business under the name of Tabani, and we still do, which is more of brokerage
Yeah.
services, advisory, and investments. But the Total Solution was a company formed with a plan to do developments, real estate development. So we
Mm.
formed the company name as Total Solution Real Estate,
Yeah.
and then we changed from Total Solution Real Estate to Prescott Real Estate.
Yeah. And to navigate, Hamid, the real estate industry at the time, was it difficult? Was it we're going? Was it complicated to navigate in terms of figuring out how to register and how to service clients? And then also your decision on to focus on the brokerage element. Was there an opportunity maybe to do the construction as well, or what sort of choices did you make
Well,
back then?
as we are a family, it's a family-owned business, and by the grace of God, we have a good manpower. So, as a company, we decided that we should have all segments covered. So,
Yeah.
we have certain people taking care of the real estate brokerage. There is a division which takes care of the advisory. There is a division which takes care of the development, and
Mm.
the two brothers are taking care. The elder two brothers are taking care of the finances and the legal, which is a backbone of the company.
Yeah.
So it's a good mix to cover everything, and by
Mm.
the grace of God, every department or every company complements the other,
Interesting.
which helps each other.
So the companies actually make up for the full service in real estate, the various companies within the family group.
Yeah,
Uh,
helps
s-
each other.
yeah. So you do one of the arm or one subsidiary or one entity does actually do development of properties as well.
Correct, which
Okay.
is Prescott Real Estate,
Okay.
and
Interesting.
I am heading that particular part of the company. uh, every development company, not I would say, let me just correct it, not every development company, but most of the development companies are always having shareholders
Hmm.
behind. Even in Prescott, we are three shareholders. There are three families, but the management part is being taken care by our family, and I take care of this company on behalf of my family.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And do you focus on the UAE, or do you also have the business in Pakistan as well?
No, we have separate. We have a real estate investment and brokerage arm in Pakistan. But now, as a family, we decided end of last year to do developments in Pakistan. And again, the responsibility has been given to my elder brother to take care of the Karachi part, and I will be focusing more out of Karachi.
Yeah.
So there are two very interesting developments that we are working on right now,
Interesting.
and hopefully, if everything goes well, we are going to be doing those as well.
Okay. Karachi is very different to Dubai and UAE in terms of
Oh
many
yes,
ways.
Karachi has a population alone of 23 million people,
Yeah.
so it's a country within a city,
Yeah.
So there is always a huge demand for real estate,
Amazing.
but more of affordable, not the luxury. Luxury, there is always a luxury, but the more of affordable housing.
Yeah.
And my brother is working on taking over a project, or working on taking over a land to do an affordable
Amazing.
housing scheme there.
Housing. And what about the commercial side? Are you involved in that area as well, the
In
property real
Pakistan,
estate?
no,
Mainly
mainly into
residential.
residential.
Amazing. And when you're in, the difference between a market like Pakistan and the UAE, you mentioned earlier about freehold buildings. How do you describe that to someone? How do you describe how property is regulated here? How do you navigate?
As a regulation, there is a huge difference between Pakistan and here, and I am uh, being trying to request the Pakistan government, and the Pakistan government has recently started implementing some of the things that Dubai is doing, but not fully. As far as Dubai is concerned, Dubai has done wonders in terms of regulation. Yes, any country, when you start something new, there is hurdles, there are difficulties.
Mm.
But day by day, the Dubai Real Estate Regulatory Authority, which is RERA, is doing fantastic work, and they are working very hard. to improve every day. They are more friendly for the investors to protect their money, and they're working hard on that. Yes, there has been issues in the past before the projects which were been uh, launched before 2008. There has been many issues before, which was before the RERA was formed. And after the RERA is formed, I believe day by day things are improving, and a lot of countries, the bigger countries, are learning from them, I would
Yeah.
say.
I've heard about this. Other countries look at regulation in Dubai from other sectors like energy sector and things like that. Can you summarize what are the things they're doing well here in the real estate sector and regulation?
I didn't get your
Can
question.
you summarize, what are the things that Pakistan could learn from RERA here? What are the kind of key things?
The basic thing is the client's interest,
Okay,
which
how
is the
exactly?
escrow account.
Okay, perfect.
The biggest thing is escrow account. Like in Pakistan, there are certain departments, but not as a whole country, but there are certain departments or certain larger developers have started implementing the escrow account laws, but they are not as strict as they are here, which I believe is better, because the first thing first is to protect the client's interest. And this is what RERA is being doing, and they're doing well.
Amazing. And how would you describe, so 15 years ago, you identified that there was a gap in offices. How would you describe how the real estate market has evolved over the years? When I came here 8, 9 years ago, it seemed there weren't many townhouses to live in, or there weren't, and then we saw lots of those being developed. Is that sort of a maturity of a real estate market in terms of what's on offer to the consumer?
Well, it's very difficult question to answer, because for this you need to see how many people are moving, how the population is increasing, what is the age of
Yeah.
the population, and based on that, I'm pretty sure the government must be allowing the new housing, or the permissions for new
Yeah.
housing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they must be gauging that how many people are currently inside the country and how many new people are going to come.
Yeah.
This is a forecast, broad forecast, which is being taken care by the government agency. So I'm pretty sure they must be following the same map.
Yeah, in terms of what they release. But if you secure a plot of land, if Prescott Real Estate, and if they're going to develop something, how do you decide whether to develop an apartment complex, a hotel, a commercial, or affordable housing?
See, as I mentioned, in 2004 to 2006, we saw a gap in offices, supply of the offices, and you can gauge it with the rent. The rents of the offices in the peak time in 2007 was about 200 dirhams a square foot anywhere in Dubai.
Really?
Most of Dubai, not anywhere in Dubai.
Wow.
But and this is the time when there was the shortage of the supply. But unfortunately, there was too much supply came in the market, and because of that, I think we still have an oversupply of offices in Dubai, and that is why the rents are very low.
So there's oversupply now.
I personally feel yes,
Yeah.
because there is a lot of vacant spaces. We ourselves are landlords, and we are also having vacant spaces in Dubai. But as far as supply is concerned, now for the last 10, 15 years, I don't see any new freehold office supply has come, except what has just noticed in Dubai Hills. Emaar has developed a couple of buildings, which I believe is the reason to have certain portion of commercial to service the community.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have not seen any new project being launched in the entire Dubai, which has commercial, especially in the freehold. Non-freehold could be, but freehold I have not seen.
But there's still oversupply.
I personally feel yes.
There's oversupply in terms of freehold or leasehold in terms of what we can rent. But if, say, our company, we're 5 years old and we're making a decision about, it might be of interest strategically to purchase an office floor or a unit. But it's very difficult because within certain free zones, there are no freehold uh, buildings on offer.
No, but in JLT, you are in
There are,
JLT. I think there is a lot of space available in JLT to purchase, and
yeah.
at a price below the cost or at cost.
Hmm.
Cost of replacement, when I say,
Yeah,
you can get decent quality office
yeah.
in JLT at a cost level, you know.
I think maybe we need your advice because with us, there's over 40 free zones in Dubai. Each one has a different activity. Actually, some of our activities, we have a separate subsidiary within the DMC, so with the media city and production city, and within those four free zones, you can't get freehold. You can't. You can only get leasehold.
Yeah, there are certain designated areas where you can purchase. Like in Jabal Ali Free Zone, you cannot purchase; you have to lease, and the
Yeah,
quality of Jabal Ali Free Zone buildings is far more superior.
interesting.
Like even in the case of JLT, there are buildings which were been developed by the master developers. Those are very high-end buildings, and you still don't find office there, or not at the rate as the other buildings are.
Yeah.
So it depends what quality of the building you wanted to go in. But in general, in JLT, a decent looking office building, you can get it at a replacement value today.
What does that mean? Explain replacement value.
Cost.
Okay. So
Like
cost of
if you
development.
today, if you buy a plot and if you construct, the value of the square foot per square foot on a leasable or a sellable area is X. You can get it for that X,
Okay,
which
wow.
is very good.
Very good at the moment. Interesting. So, how did you, Mohammed, navigate the pandemic last year? Did it change your outlook or did it change your plans? And what decisions did you make?
Well, when it started and when it was at peak in March, April, and May, it was a nightmare. We were all working from home, doing video calls, doing phone calls, and from everywhere you are getting a bad news, bad news,
Yeah.
bad news. It was with everybody, not only with us. At that time, we started working on how to complete the existing project. When I say about Prescott, my focus was how to complete the project which is under construction, and where am I going to bring the cash required from. And at the same time, while we were talking with our sales team, they were raising their hands. They were saying, oh, we don't feel that there will be any sales, there will be any collections. So at that particular time, we decided as partners that we will need to bridge the cash to complete the buildings. We cannot rely on the sales, which in a lot of cases and a lot of developer does rely. We do as well, certain percentage, but we decided that it's not going to happen. So we have to put the cash. So we started utilizing our own cash, which was available, kept it as a reserve, or whatever the shortfall was, we sold our other assets, and we made it sure that we have enough funds to complete the building. Whether we are able to do further sales or whether we are able to collect the amount on the previously sold units. So by the grace of God, our decision was proven good, and alhamdulillah, we have almost completed our building. Today, there is an inspection expected at our building from authorities for the building completion.
Brilliant. Congratulations.
Thank
My
you.
work. Where is the building?
It's in Maidan. It's
okay.
about 151 units.
Okay.
We call it as a affordable luxury. I would invite you to go and have a look at it with your camera people.
Okay. Very good. The guys are looking there. Yeah, interesting. That's an interesting development because there were some sort of, I think, there were some sort of question marks over contractors and developers within the Maidan development that needed to be sorted out, and it was an additional sign of the maturity of the kind of expectation on delivery.
See, what we did, two things we did is number one, that we have and we saged our cash flow situation, and we made it sure that we have a cash enough to complete.
Hmm.
The second thing we did, which we have done it in the past as well, in 2009 and 10, I'll come back to you on that. But to complete that, we decided in 2000, in the pandemic situation, that we need to improve a little bit on our quality.
Hmm.
We need to, give client a better quality, because we thought that the units which were unsold were too many, and we need to deliver a very good quality, so that whoever have purchased and whoever is a new entrant is going to look at the building or the facilities, and he feels that he is buying the right product at the right price.
Hmm.
So we started improving on the quality, and we spent extra than our budgets to improve on the quality.
Interesting. So that's where the term affordable luxury came in, where you.
No, we are always
Um,
doing better buildings. We have not done significant developments in the significant areas like downtown or Business Bay or Marina,
mm,
but by the grace of God, we have done the buildings in different areas which are called as the secondary areas.
yeah.
But we have delivered better buildings in the
Mm,
past as well.
mm.
Alhamdulillah.
And how do you describe the sort of Maidan development? Are you optimistic about that area, about being a new area, residential for people? It's close to downtown. Are you confident about the unit that you're completing?
Actually, see, everybody has a desire to develop in downtown
Mm,
or in Business Bay or in Marina or in Palm, which are the four significant areas for the development. But anybody who doesn't have the deeper pockets to develop in those areas, because the size of the buildings or the size of the project is bigger, then Maidan is a very good place to develop a project
mm,
wherein you can get a decent sized plot, and you can still do a better development, better quality development,
yeah,
and you are still in the city.
yeah, exactly.
So this is what.
Good location,
Yeah.
also not too far away. Yeah, just going back to how you responded last year, I think in hindsight, obviously we're still going through the pandemic, but it does seem to look like the leaders who, in the midst of all the uncertainty, the ones that kind of didn't hibernate, the ones that continued with their plans and that were well run beforehand, so did have a good balance sheet, were able to tap into cash reserves, that they've actually kind of come out of this strong. Is that what you kind of learned as well?
Well, every day we learn,
Yeah.
until the day we are gone,
Yeah.
And I have a habit of writing notes of my experience every now and then,
Mm,
and I've learned a lot from this pandemic. And the biggest thing that I learned from the pandemic, that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel.
mm,
So whether there is a pandemic, but if you hold yourself well, if you manage things well, you are going to come out well.
okay.
And
Interesting.
if you get panicked, you are going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
So
Hold your nerve.
I was panicked, but I was controlling it.
Yeah,
I was
interesting.
controlling.
So, people
And
will.
it's a team. Let me just add, it's a team. By the grace of God, I'm blessed with three elder alive brothers, and one passed away. But
Mm,
I'm blessed with the three elder brothers. I had got a lot of support from my two partners in that difficult time.
mm,
So, and that is why I'm like in a position to do whatever I could.
mm,
If they were panicked while I was panicked, we would have been in trouble.
yeah.
Not only today, but the worst situation that I've seen in my career was in 2009,
Mm,
when we were having three projects on the way, and there was a financial crisis across the world, not only in Dubai, across the world. And we were having projects worth about approximately 400 million dirhams under construction, and we had collected about 20-25% of the money from the clients as an average,
mm,
and nobody was ready to pay.
mm,
That was a worse time than this particular time. Nobody was ready to pay.
mm,
How we managed it, it was the help from God. Nobody else can do it.
mm,
But our our motto was one, that whatever we have launched, we are going to complete. We are going to complete on time, and we are going to complete with a better quality.
Amazing.
And rest was helped by Allah, then the partners and the brothers.
Amazing.
So
That's a good story because real estate is synonymous with Dubai. There's the biggest building in the world here. There's man-mades. There's so many world records. There's so many. It's on the MV. It attracts the best architects, the best brains in real estate and in construction from around the world. And we've just seen the completion of Expo 2020 site. It seems to be like a blank canvas for creativity. What's the secret to sort of sustaining and discipline over 3 decades in real estate here? Like how do you not get tempted, and how do you avoid mistakes and things like that?
well, you get tempted. Sometimes, I also like to develop a tower like this, but we have a policy, very simple policy, that whatever money you have in pocket, plus 10, 20%, 30% of leverage,
That's what you can spend.
that is what we need to work.
Okay.
We don't borrow money from the bank.
Yeah.
So that's
Very good. It's a core principle
get tempted,
of economics. Yeah. Don't spend what you don't have. Interesting.
don't commit even.
You don't commit. Yeah, interesting. But how would you describe the sort of the phase that we're in now? A lot of big property developers. Some people say there's an oversupply. We know of a well-known entity that went into administration. I think a construction company into receivership or something like that, and now the different parts are being split up. Do you think the real estate sector in Dubai is in good health, bad health, or how would you describe it?
Well, I still see that in Dubai, the luxury sector rental returns are between 3 to 4%. Okay. And the rental returns, net rental returns on the middle income segment, or I would say affordable segment, is close to 6%,
Which is
somewhere
good.
between 5 and 7. Now, you are from UK, I guess.
Ireland, yeah.
Ireland. So it's not far. So
Yeah.
the rental return there is between 2 to 3%.
Okay.
So still there is a gap in terms of the what do you call returns.
Yeah.
So this returns of 6% were used to be 8.5, 3, 4, 5 years down ago.
So you think there's a
So basically, there was the rents were higher because the demand was X and the supply was X. Now today the supply is X plus 1 and the demand is X. So that is why the rentals are less. In my opinion, this is also healthy as an economy. I am not an economist, so my comment cannot be taken as an economic comment. But this is good for a normal person who is unable to purchase a house himself or herself, or they do not want to purchase the house for any other reason. They can still afford to lease a nice quality property at about 6% value of the property, which is good. And I still feel that if it is at 5% level, it is also fine, because none of the developed countries are able to offer 5% rent. Most of the countries don't.
In terms of the consumer or the person who's the landlords renting it out, it's good to be able to get 5%
for a landlord.
return.
For a landlord, higher the better.
Yeah.
But as a tenant, the lesser the better.
Yeah, of course.
So the rents, when the rents were higher, like we are a company of about 50 people, and I remember when the rents were high, our staff came in and complained that we are having a difficulty to afford the rent. So we had to increase the salary. Now when your business is not doing good, and if you are increasing the salary, that
Mm.
means your business is going to suffer.
Mm.
So logically, it's a pressure on business owners,
Mm.
the tenants, the actual tenants as well.
Mm.
Now, because of a little bit of an oversupply, which I don't know the exact numbers, what is the percentage of
Mm.
oversupply is, this has become more healthier for the economy,
Mm. Exactly.
indirectly.
Indirectly. So
Indirectly.
basically, it's more affordable for tenants, therefore, there's more people renting, there's more cash flow, and it recycles that way.
Correct.
And the properties are able to fill more, there's less vacant. Do you think that we were at the bottom of the property market for real estate, for residential, and certain categories are.
There are certain categories which, actually, everything was depressed before the pandemic and
Mm.
during the pandemic.
Mm.
But since September or August, the property prices, especially for the townhouses and villas, have started to increase.
Mm.
The demands have increased because of, I would say, a phobia that people are having, that if they are using the building, they are exposed in the lift with many other people.
Interesting.
So a lot of people have started to move themselves from the apartment building
Yeah.
to an individual unit.
Yeah.
So the demand has increased considerably. So the rents have increased drastically
Mm.
in the townhouses and the villa sector, and the prices of the townhouse and villas plots have also increased a lot.
Okay.
And as per the little bit of information that I have, the prices have increased more in the luxury sector
Mm.
than the affordable sector.
Mm.
The prices in so-called Bulgaria Island,
Mm.
Palm, uh, Emirates Hills, Dubai Hills has increased the highest number.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there is a bit of a recovery in pricing
Not
driven
recovery,
by
actually, it
beyond
jumped
that.
from the recovery, I would say.
Okay, that's interesting.
In
So
this sector.
in that sector.
Now, for the last 2 months or so, we see a trend that there is a good demand of the luxury apartments in downtown,
Mm.
Palm, Marina.
Mm.
Not every building, but the building which is well developed, well positioned,
Mm.
has good views. The prices have started to increase, and we started to investigate who is buying. So there is a lot of people here in December till the early Jan having a holiday here from around the world.
Yeah.
Uh, and there
Mm.
is a new customer who has
Yeah.
come in and purchased the property
Wow.
or purchasing the property.
That's interesting. Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting because people are not only doing that, but they realize from being that they can actually not just go on holiday here with the new visas, new regulations, and things like that. They can actually, the flexibility is to work from here. And there's, as you mentioned, a different customer as well. So
New
that's
client.
new clients.
A
That's
lot of new
interesting.
clients.
Yeah.
Even our sales, I believe we have sold about 60 odd units in our building in the last 2 months.
Okay. Wow.
And we have different nationalities. We have got UK. We have got a lot of locals.
Mm.
They probably purchased the apartment to buy and lease it.
Mm.
We have seen French. We have seen a lot of CIS.
Mm.
A mix of customers.
Mm. Mm.
So we found customers from everywhere.
Yeah.
Not only one segment, that a Pakistani or an Indian or a UK based customer is buying. No, it's across the board. We have found many customers. We have bought German,
Mm.
German couple. I met them personally. They were very interesting people. So I met them
Interesting.
personally.
Yeah.
They bought an apartment because they plan to spend about 30 to 60 days a year in Dubai
Mm.
going forward.
Mm. Mm.
So they visited in the past, but this time they loved it because everything in the world is closed and Dubai was
Yeah.
functioning well
Yeah.
because of they managed things very well.
Yeah.
So they liked it and they purchased an apartment with the decision that they are going to spend a little bit of time here.
Interesting. So you would be optimistic about the market, the trends. You think, and interest rates are low, so people are sort of investing again. And do you think that what would your advice be for people? Do you think that people are settling down here more? They're looking at long-term
Well,
visas.
what I saw recently, the recent trend is that the prices have increased in the luxury sector
Mm,
and in the villa and the sector.
mm,
Now, the villas is basically the end users who were living here in an apartment and they decided to move in the villa,
mm,
or the people who were holding their money, what to buy, and they decided to buy. But the prices have increased in the luxury sector, and that luxury sector, I personally feel, I don't have the correct data, but has been purchased mainly by the newcomers.
mm,
So the people who were here in December on holidays, or they came for a holiday, they love Dubai, and Dubai is a beautiful place to live. So, and the weather in Dubai
very nice
is
at the
the
moment.
weather of UK in June, you know.
Yeah,
So everybody likes to have here.
yeah,
So it's a new entrant, new customer.
yeah.
And Dubai, because of the infrastructure, because of the quality, because of the attraction, ease of business, a lot of people may have purchased this property as a second home,
Mm,
and a lot of people may have thought that, okay, let's move the family and they can,
mm,
work back and forth.
mm.
So there is a change. There
There's
is a change.
definitely a change. And before we run out of time, what do you think of prop tech and the different kind of innovations? And of course, it's a huge topic, a huge space, but there are platforms that emerged over the last decade or so, such as portals, and then there are new trends in terms of eco-friendly, quicker construction type companies. What's your kind of view on trends in the real estate
In
sector?
terms of selling tools, there's
Yeah, selling tools, but just technology coming into the ecosystem. So whether it's a portal or whether it's faster manufacturing or different things like that.
well, as far as I am concerned, I'm an old timer. I,
Experience.
I'm not an IT guy. I'm not very well versed on that. But I'm being helped by my nephew on the sales and marketing front, and my niece. And I believe they are doing a good job
Hmm,
in terms of that. I myself have decided to learn a little bit,
good.
because sometimes they might be fooling me around. So I don't want it to get fooled.
Catch them out.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to learn that, and I've decided that I'm going to allocate some time
Hmm,
during this year
hmm,
to be more familiarized with how it works and how it functions.
yeah.
But I know a bit of it,
Yeah.
how to manage it and how to allocate it. That I know, and I believe I'm good at management side.
Hmm,
But how to get the leads and how to work it, that I don't know, and I
hmm,
wanted to learn that.
hmm. Interesting.
And
But
as far as your second question is concerned, how to make buildings faster with the new technology, I think there are certain segments wherein you can apply these kind of things and it is workable,
hmm,
such as this modular homes and precast houses.
hmm,
For some reason, it's not worked out here,
hmm,
or it's not been looked uh, more deeply by the people here.
hmm.
Uh, Once again, there is a scope, and I think West is doing a lot,
Yeah, yeah.
and West
Seems
is
to be big
gaining a
in the
lot from
US.
that,
Yeah.
especially the US.
Mm,
But I think it's not been really been focused here or
mm.
been worked here.
Interesting. But maybe there's still a lot of developments happening here and people are kind of happy with what's happening at the
Correct.
moment. Well, that's amazing conversation.
Thank you very much.
We'll end it there. Thank you so much. I could talk
Most
about
welcome.
real estate at length. You can share a lot of wisdom. So appreciate you coming on, Mohammed,
Most welcome.
and congratulations with
I'm
the
happy to be
handover.
here and invited here.
And thank you very much. And hopefully we will follow the Prescott real estate and your journey in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for another episode of Dubai Works. Thank you so much for listening, and please leave a review on the podcast platform that you're listening to. It really helps with organic searches. Also, if you'd like to appear on Dubai Works or know someone who has an inspiring business story in Dubai, please do get in touch on any of the smashy social platforms. Helps with organic searches. Also, if you'd like to appear on Dubai Works or know someone who has an inspiring business story in Dubai, please do get in touch on any of the smashy social platforms.